Hello, everyone. This is a training that is going to conduct how to completely and efficiently fill out the MRA tab. This training will help you with anything that you may have questions on and something that you can look back to in the future if you do have further questions. This is my coworker, Jeff. He will be explaining some things within the training to help complete it efficiently. We want to thank everyone for being a part of the FY24 application. So we will begin. I am going to share my screen. Okay. So when you receive your MRA, you will have these tabs at the bottom of the file. We are going to go through one by one and show you what to fill out and what will help you complete this file. So we'll start with the instructions. Right here you can see this is exactly the steps you will take into completing the MRA efficiently. First, you'll start with the monthly summary. It will go through the work scope, the monthly report, the energy savings worksheet, the monthly invoice, and definitions. This is something you can look back at to help you complete it. So then we are going to go to definitions. Definitions is a great resource for you grantees to look at exactly what does administrative expenses mean. It will let you know right here, as well as the health and safety, training expenses, our new electric upgrades, project timeline, just some key words that you may not know the definition of. We have a tab for you to locate the information. As we move along on the tabs underneath, we have the work of scope. This is your work scope for your project specifically. So in this tab, it lets you know what your grant was approved and what we will be allowing throughout the cycle. You filled this out earlier within the year, so it's everything we all discussed that is going to be effective in your grant. So if you ever have questions on what you are allowed to ask for reimbursement for, this is the tab you will locate that information. This is a very important tab just to make sure you're staying in the guidelines of what was approved and what is not approved. We like to make sure that you are following this guideline as much as possible because we do not want to have to deal with discrepancies and have to return the MRA and have to refill it and things of that nature. So please make sure you stick to your work of scope. As we move on, we get to our monthly summary tab. This is the first tab grantees will have to fill in. So as you can see at the top, it's going to ask you for your organization name. Please type in your organization name, the address, who is your point of contact, zip code, email, phone number, as well as your region of work, your grant number, and if you prefer phone or email, please check one of these. This is very important to fill out so we know who we are working with at the time of going over these files. As well as the top being filled out, we please ask you to remember to get to the bottom of it and please sign first your name and then your signature. Both can be typed in, as well as the time and date. These are a few things that in the previous years some grantees have missed, but we will not be able to proceed with the filing process if these are not completed. So please make sure to fill in this bottom section here. Within this section right here of the monthly summary tab, this is all pre-populated after filling in the MRA. And we will return to that section after we complete the MRA to show you the changes it makes on its own, which is very helpful so you can see your whole fiscal year progress and how much money you have left, how much you've spent, and how much you have left. We will return to that later in this training. So next we will go to the MRA tab. This is a very important tab for the grantees to fill out. As you can see, we have two different colors of columns here. So if you see a tan column, that is where you will type in the address of the building you completed. So each line is a different home. Okay, so every home you work on, you put in their address. So whatever work was done for 22 Shore Ave, you go vertically across and fill in all the information that that home has completed. So for instance, we're going to say 22 Shore Ave was in what county? And we have drop downs in the gray sections, which make this process faster for you. Okay, and then we go down the line, filling in every single column, please. Let us know if it's a whole house, commercial, new construction, or limited upgrades to commercial/residential. Okay, and then we move on to status of project status, excuse me. Just let us know where you're at in the process of completing it. Have you completed the work? Are you still in the process of it? Things of that nature. Please let us know what state senate district you are in. These are new, this is new information that we added for the FY24 for you returning grantees. So here we have our original home heating fueling configuration. So please let us know what the home was heated with. Was it electric resistant? Heating oil furnace/boiler? Please indicate what those are. So in this case, after the work is done, excuse me, let us know if you changed. Say you went from a natural gas, and say we changed it to an air source heat pump. Okay, please let us know. If there was no changes, just keep it to the same exact measure. Okay, this is also new, the water heating fuel switch. Let us know what you changed it to. Let us know what your original was and to a heat pump water heater. Okay, these are new, like I mentioned, and they are very helpful resources for us to conduct our final energy savings. Okay, moving along the list. If there's any others, please type in what those change of measures were, please. Okay, moving along. Occupancy type, that's going to be if it's either owner or renter. Here it's going to be lower moderate income. We like to specify so we can have a accurate end of fiscal year report. How many residents were served in that home? Very important as well. Description of services is very important. So say you had 2 homes weatherization, or let's say 2 homes heat pump water heater installed. And then let's say 1 or 2 homes air sealing attic insulation. So please let us know exactly what you completed within that home. This will help us a lot in the future. Okay, and then let us know if you had a BPI test out. That's going to be a yes or no, as you can see right here. Please let us know the contractor's name, the audit software you used, hours worked, per month is very important. All of these are very important, honestly. Just please make sure to fill out every single column to the best of your ability. Okay, and then we get down to the programmatic cost. As you can see right here, we have each measure listed at the top. So for, let's say, 22 Shore Ave, you installed lighting. You spent $75 on lighting. Okay, you bought a new refrigerator, 600, you know. So whatever your receipts from the work that was completed in the home, these numbers need to match those receipts, because you also will be sending over supporting documentation that needs to line up exactly with these numbers you given us, excuse me. So make sure these numbers are accurate, because if they're not, we will return the MRA and ask for more information. As you can see, it auto-populates for a total programmatic cost. So make sure these numbers are all correct. All right. And then we are going to switch to over here is health and safety. It also lets you know that you can only have $1,500 per residence. If you go over, it is going to let you know if you have a red box that is not accepted. So please make sure you look at the max number allowed and do not overseed that number. For the health and safety, please let us know what it was. Admin, same thing. You can only have a max of 10 to 15% of the grant amount, depending on contract. So it changes for everyone, but that is mostly the defined cutoff. A feature that I would like to show is if you do have questions on this, you can control click and it will bring you right to the definitions for that information. So that is a great helpful tool that we have implemented into the MRA. And that will work with any linked headline. So as you can see here, the training expenses, this will also bring you to that definition to let you know exactly what that covers and what is allowed and what is not. Okay, so then we switch back and training expenses. Please give us details. This is a new feature this year for our electrical panel upgrades. So please make note of this. If you have any electrical panel upgrades, that is the section it will be. This is where you will add that information. As you can see here, the max is 3,000. And please give a definition or let us know what work was completed so we can have that for our information. Okay. All right, so then as we move across, just let us know if there were any utility rebates or leverage funds. Most of you know that there is other corporations that are helping, so please let us know if they are and how much, things of that nature. See the amount here, please give us a number. Okay, and give us the information that you receive from those leverage funds for savings. As well as you can see, we have the units below. Please make sure to put them in the correct units for our system, please. Okay, so that is how you complete the first part of the MRA. I hope that was helpful. Now I am going to switch back to the monthly summary, as I said I was going to show you. So when we go back to the monthly summary, it does show you, hold on one moment.
Want me to take over here?
1 second. Okay, so your total will show up right underneath. So this is going to let you know how much you spent for August, and it will also put in all of the other inputs that you put on the MRA. So this is all automated from the MRA, which is very helpful. So you can see all of this information that you uploaded on there. Okay. And it also lets you know how much you spent and how much you have remaining. I am going to now pass it off to Jeff, and he will take over the ESW and the monthly summary.
So yeah, expanding on, so I'm Jeff Newsom, Senior Engineer Technical Assistant for the MEA program. So I'm going to focus on some of the more technical nitty-gritty inputs. So first off, as Rebecca just explained, the total invoicing from the MRA tab, so total invoicing of all the work you've completed for the month, will go ahead and auto-populate into these tabs here. So as an example of, if you spent $13,000 on your first reporting month and you spent $533 in the second month, the August report that we just walked through, and then you spent an additional $13,000 completing a third home in September, note that these numbers all automatically update. So this is newly enhanced functionality for FY24, in that in previous years, we would just show what's your grant amount, what's your current budget, and what is the remaining amount of money. We've gone ahead and expanded that feature for this year, so you still have the grant amount. The second column is the total of all your invoicing, which will automatically update throughout the course of the fiscal year. The highlighted cells are how much money you have remaining in your grant. So that's going to be continually updated. So as you spend money, you'll have less and less money available. And so both the money remaining in your account in your grant as you progress towards your goals, as well as the total number of homes improved. Both of those, it'll become a countdown as you progress through the fiscal year. And then these percentages here is a percentage of what you have remaining. So if you're into the final few months of the fiscal year, this is going to be dropping down to smaller and smaller digits, and then it goes into particular attention once you're into the final few percentages of the grant. So this is functionality from previous years. We had some of it. Now it's greatly expanded the level of detail for your reference, so you can properly plan out the program. And also a new feature that we implemented this year, Rebecca was discussing the individual reporting months and had shown the definitions and how you control click will jump to the location. We've implemented that for the monthly summary. So if you're in the monthly summary and you're working on the August report, control click and it will automatically jump to that month's reporting tab. So that covers it for the invoicing. Now we are progressing to the energy saving workbook. Note that the money copies over from the monthly summary tab. The description of work will also copy over from the monthly summary tab into the ESW. So keep that explanation up to date. We reference that a lot. Now we're getting into the measure data entry, similar color coding to what we had before. So you have quantity, if it's tan indicates typing values, and gray indicates drop downs. So that's sample reporting for light bulbs for light bulbs. That's one of the standard inputs that we've had for years. Appliances, largely the same as previous years. HVAC, we've gone ahead and greatly expanded a lot of the inputs here, simply because with the FY24 focus on fuel switching and electrification, we really want to make the communication here as clear as possible. So summarizing experience of the last year, we have some grantees that are expressing confusion as to what is required before you can do HVAC replacements. In that you do have to go through the steps before we're allowed to reimburse. And those requirements are written into the work scope. For ease of reference, they are copied here. So these are mandatory prerequisites before you can go ahead and replace an HVAC system. They're in both locations. Make sure that you've done all these before you take a look at replacing an HVAC system. So was there a manual J calculation completed or scope requirement? Yes or no? Weatherized in the last 5 years? That's the second requirement. Have you taken a look at duct testing and duct tightness, in that you need to at least investigate it for the home, because we don't want to be having large expensive HVAC units, say hypothetically $8,000, and all that heating energy is just venting directly into an unconditioned attic. So that's why it's required to at least investigate that the ducts are in good condition and consider if they can be sealed. The other prerequisites, one of these must be met before HVAC can be replaced, is the existing equipment largely non-functional, broken down? Is it a 15-year payback or less? Or is the original unit not working at all? And then finally, is the unit Energy Star certified? As an energy efficiency program, we do pay for the extra energy efficient equipment, because minimum efficiency just doesn't meet the program requirements. So that's a really important tenet of the program. Keep in mind, you have to consider all of these, and you have to go through all those steps in order to be eligible for reimbursing. So please look at this before you replace the system rather than retrospectively, because we don't want that several $1,000 expense not getting reimbursed. Please look at the work scope requirements before you do the replacement. The HVAC replacements themselves there have been a lot of new inputs because, again, FY24 focus is HVAC focused. So the changes are, we standardized the inputs. So this is a central air conditioner, for example. Notice that this is the input, all the heating inputs are blanked out, but they're still listed. That's the central AC inputs, that's the air source heat pump inputs, that's the mini split inputs. It's all the same consistent format on all three. This makes it easier for you on reporting. This makes it easier for us on processing. As for new data itself, one of the new changes we have this year is we are asking for what is the manual J heating and cooling load. This is part of the work scope requirements. It also makes a big difference for us on the calculation end, because we've had situations where window AC units are replaced by large central air conditioners, and we don't know the capacity that was there before the unit was installed. And rather than that challenging situation when we don't have the data of what was the cooling capacity before, we're now asking for what's the design heating and cooling load, as well as the original and replacement capacity. So central AC, what's the heating load, what's the equipment type, size, efficiency, age on the original unit. Then you get to the new input over there on the right. Again, with air source heat pump, you have what is the design load, what is the equipment type. This is where you say what kind of fuel is it operating on. And then these are over here on the right are the inputs for the new units. And then mini split also standardized the HVAC prerequisites. Then you get into original equipment and new equipment. And those are the newly expanded HVAC inputs. Here below, we have the residential duct sealing. Previously, this was a shell input until we moved it into the HVAC category as it's more directly pertaining to the heating and cooling systems. This is largely the same as last year. How many units are improved? What's the house like? What's the cooling capacity, heating capacity? These inputs here of the duct insulation are value and tightness. Notice, pull that from a drop-down menu. This is a precise match of what's required of how BPI calculates duct tightness. So we're pulling it directly from their terminology. So for further details, refer to the BPI reference tables, refer to their explanations, as they can do it a lot better than we can. Then finally, we get to heat pump water heaters, like HVAC inputs, original, new. We do ask for energy factor and uniform energy factor on the new and existing units. Then we have the hot water pipe insulation, shower heads, aerators, all that. Continuing down to home envelope. So here we have air sealing, attic insulation, then wall insulation, floor insulation, and finally smart strip at the end, as well as if you have custom measures, there's this area to explain. That wraps it up for the whole house residential and the limited residential. The features below this are for other program sectors. Incremental new construction, we have more of those. In FY24 than previous years. I've gone ahead and created this table, which is these are the approved incentives. Enter the number that you installed. So let's say you installed 2 Energy Star heat pumps. That multiplies into what is the invoicing total. And then this one here is how many apartments or residential units were improved. So let's say it's 1 air source heat pump, but then you had 2 bath fans because it was a 2-bedroom apartment. So you go ahead and say 1 and 1. So indicating that this column here, this is the number of incremental incentives claimed for a unit, and this is providing for how many dwelling units does it impact. And then finally we get to commercial energy measures, which this is commercial lighting, if any commercial grantees want to go ahead and use that. Now we go on to the monthly invoice, where I will pass back to Rebecca.
Thank you, Jeff. Okay, in this section here, this will be the last part of the process that you will have to fill in. So as you can see at the top, this is in tan, so you need to fill in your grant invoice number. These will all be populated from, oh, excuse me, no, they will not. You will need to fill out these sections with the drop down. Okay, please let us know your grant. Please let us know your organization name again, your region. This section here is pre-populated for this month specifically. As you remember, we told you that the monthly summary is the whole fiscal year. This section here is just for this month of August. Okay, so this is just a little reference table. Please make sure you fill out the heading as well as a signature, date, and approval. This section here is important for us when we get close to finalizing this fiscal year. Please let us know if this is the last report you will be sending. That will make our job a little easier for us. So these 3 tabs here are the tabs that the grantees must give us all their information on what work has been completed. Okay, so this tab here, which we will last describe, is the estimated energy savings. This tab is not for grantees to fill out any information. This will be done all in-house. So we will provide you with each month with a described, detailed of what was done and what the savings were, what your simple payback was, information that might be useful to you. So this will be filled out over here for you, as well as this will be filled out each month as well for your reference.
That concludes the first portion of our training. Now we will go to our second part. MEA Energy Efficiency Equity. Energy savings and cost effectiveness. We will talk about the importance of energy savings, calculating energy savings using the Technical Reference Manual, how energy savings are converted to energy cost savings, how EEE estimates cost effectiveness using simple payback. The importance of energy savings. EEE program grants are awarded for energy efficiency projects that generate significant reductions in energy usage and pass the benefits to residents. Included in the monthly reporting requirements, grantees must complete the Energy Savings Worksheet, also known as the ESW, that we covered in the beginning of this training. This provides MEA with information on the efficiency measures, including air sealing, adding insulations, and so on, that were implemented at homes. MEA uses this information from the monthly reporting to calculate energy savings that result from these measures. Calculating energy savings using the Technical Reference Manual, also known as the TRM. The EEE program needs to use standardized and consistent methods to estimate the energy savings which result from implementing efficiency measures in homes. The Mid-Atlantic Technical Reference Manual is designed for this purpose and used by various utility-efficient programs to report on energy savings. Within the EEE program, MEA uses a calculation methodology based on the Mid-Atlantic TRM version 9, incorporated into a spreadsheet-based tool. The calculations in the TRM-based tool generate kilowatt-hour savings, kilowatt demand reduction, and MMBTU savings for gas, propane, and heating oil. Cost savings are then generated using average residential energy rates from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, also known as the EIA. Cost effectiveness based on simple payback. Simple payback is the time it will take to recover the initial investment efficiency measures through energy cost savings. Simple payback equals project cost divided by annual energy savings. Under the EEE program, project cost does not include administration costs and training expenses. MEA uses this metric to report on program impact, assess projects, and to inform the program's design. We want to thank everyone for joining this training session and being a part of the EEE program.